Welcome to Tiny Rails, the cute little train game where you theoretically run a train company, although you really just pretty much run one train. This train that's currently going past, that's what my current train configuration looks like. And last time round I finished the USA Centre quests and checklist, or parts thereof, so it's now all complete. And I set the train to go off to Cheyenne, Wyoming, because that's the station nearest to Denver, Colorado, which is where the game would like me to go next. So let me continue. Here we are, coming into Cheyenne, Wyoming. In between the last episode and this episode, I took a little detour and went to this factory to drop off some stuff for the factory. So it's now got most of the fireworks it needs and some of the iron. Whereas now I'm at Cheyenne, Wyoming, which would like carrots. I don't have any carrots. Well, that's not great. I would like to give it carrots, but I don't have any. But I do have plenty of space on my train, having dumped a load of stuff at the factory, so I'll buy whatever it was I just bought. And it now wants me to make a stop at Denver, Colorado, so that's where I'm going next, to start the USA West section. That's the button I'm looking for, set a waypoint. So I will now head into Denver, Colorado. If I look at the map and highlight this area, that is the USA West, whereas that area was USA Centre. So this is USA West, and it has, as always, a new checklist where I need to buy 300 cargo in the USA West, serve 200 passengers, travel just over 4,500 miles, buy or upgrade 5 train stations. Last time around it was 10 train stations in USA Centre, for the very simple reason train stations in the USA Centre are a lot cheaper. There's a lot of little stations, whereas USA West contains a lot of big stations like Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Denver, Colorado, Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, all of which are a lot more expensive. Hence the reason it only wants me to buy half the amount of stations. However, Santa Fe, New Mexico is quite cheap, so I'll pick that one up. Albuquerque's expensive. El Paso's quite cheap. Tucson's quite cheap, so that's 3 out of 5 already. Phoenix is expensive, Salt Lake is expensive, Vegas is very expensive, as is LA, San Francisco, Sacramento's not too expensive, Portland, Olympia, Washington, however, will do. And what's this one? Somewhere else in Washington State, which is really cheap. So I'll even buy it and upgrade it. Boise, Idaho, pretty cheap. So that has got me the buy or upgrade the train stations I need in USA West, so that's 1 out of the 4 tasks done. The train needs a quick clean and some maintenance, I'd guess. And here I have arrived at Denver, Colorado. Ah, this is my competitor, Mr. Blackwell. Blackwell, it seems we meet again. Finally had the nerve to head west, It's not too late, you know. I'd be happy to make it worth your while to sell to me. I've told you once already, Blackwell, the company isn't for sale. Foolish. Better try and stake your claim in my own backyard? It's laughable. Take the deal and save what's left of your pride, my friends. You don't scare us, Blackwell. No? Perhaps. I think you'll come to regret your decision, though. I assure you that you won't find success here to be so easy. Don't worry, we're not afraid of a little hard work. Speak for yourself, mate. Right, I've arrived at Denver, so I might as well collect the reward for arriving at Denver. Now it wants me to go to Boise, Idaho, apparently. Where's Boise? Oh, it's up there. So that's the direction I'll head in. Now I might as well check the market while I'm here. Oh yes, something new to buy, microprocessors, and it wants chickens. I will, however, buy the copper, because that is useful for the factories which make the unique cars. They all want copper. They all want copper, iron, steel, and wood in varying amounts, and then something unique for each factory as well as an additional resource. So I'm currently off to Boise, Idaho at 152 miles an hour. My 16 hold passengers. Oh, Hideo reckons it's not bad. I had fun on my train. And apparently I've completed a job. I have completed the job of travelling 621 miles. So let me find another job that I'm willing to do. We'll accept that one. Experience for Lance. As we travel through the early morning hours, almost 8 o'clock in the morning, on June 6th, year 1. Another quirk of this game I noticed in the other game I'm playing of it, on my other save, is it seems to stick into year 1 for quite a while, maybe until you get to Europe or somewhere else before it goes into year 2. So I think it's stuck at December the 1st, year 1 for quite a while in my other save. We've got a long way to go to Boise, Idaho. Well, I've served 34 passengers now, and I've currently done 228 miles, 231 miles out of a long way to go. And I've got a lot of cargo to buy to complete the USA West checklist. Oh, but I found something in the road. Cleared a boulder. We've got some free stuff. Not really much to say as we enjoy the background scenery of going between Denver, Colorado and Boise, Idaho. Although going to Colorado these days probably means that if you weren't stoned when you got there, you probably were by the time you left. Actually reminds me of a story I saw a while back. The employees at Hertz, because you can fly into Colorado and go and buy legal marijuana, you can't take it, you can't fly out with it, however, to other states. And they still have sniffer dogs and drug searching dogs in the airport, who I'm sure are going quite mad considering the people are probably smoking weed just outside the airport. But the people at Hertz are finding all sorts of marijuana in the cars that are returned to them when they clean them out. And I'm not sure if the Hertz employees actually decide at the end of the day, okay, rather than just a tip jar, we have a marijuana jar, and we split the marijuana we found at the end of the day amongst ourselves. I know I would if I was a Hertz employee living in Colorado. Though I'm not sure if Hertz employees are subject to drug tests. But yes, there are lots of dispensaries in Colorado, and people going there specifically to go to the dispensaries. That is the only reason they're going to Colorado. Not that... Oh, I've completed yet another job. What have I completed this time? Number of miles travelled for something? Yes, a nice 5,000. Always nice to get additional money. And... what else we got on here? I don't want to do any of those jobs. Well, I'll accept another job that Lance can do to get more experience. Okay. Valerie. Well, it's not the biggest shipment in the world, but it's a start. I'm afraid that if we're going to be taking on these smaller jobs, Blackwell just might be right. Hey, we've got to start somewhere, right? Let's get to San Francisco and see if our fortunes improve. Looks like I'm going to San Francisco next. However, I get to collect my reward for getting to Boise, Idaho. Apparently I completed another job, which means I can now accept a further job. As I've mentioned before, you want wheat. I don't have any wheat. What are you selling? Well, you're selling copper and iron. I don't really care about the price, I just want it. And well, it's not overly expensive. I'll buy the microprocessor because I know they're always in demand. And we'll buy the chicken because it's cheap. So where am I going now? San Francisco, wasn't it? Well, I guess I'm going round this way. San Francisco wants microprocessors. Wants 1,000 of them. It's going to take a while to get all the microprocessors that San Francisco wants. However, we're going to Kennewick, Washington State first. So what was I chuntering on about before I got to Boise? Oh, is it marijuana in Colorado? Oh yes, that's where I was thinking of heading next in talking about stuff. It always amazes me, the most liberal states like California, or a large chunk of liberalism in California, etc., are not the first states to pass things like recreational marijuana or even the gay marriage laws. Now, when Middle America, I think it was Iowa, was the first one to pass a gay marriage being legalized in their state, you should be looking at yourselves, California, and going, there's something strange here. When Middle America turns around and says, yeah, we don't have a problem with that, just legalize it. It's weird that it took that before it became the norm, and is now, I believe, federal law. I need another job. Accept that job. You would think that things like gay marriage, legalized marijuana, that would be coming out of California or Washington State. But no, it's, legalized marijuana came out of Colorado being the first. Legalized gay marriage was Iowa. This is not what you expect from America. Just a little aside. So I've got to do something to fill in the time while I'm waiting for my train to go to Kennewick, Washington, a place I've never heard of. I've never been there. Didn't even know it existed until I got this game. It's like there's a place in Australia called Townsville. I'd never heard of until I played XCOM. And I lived in Australia for 4 years and I still never heard of Townsville. But it actually exists as a place. Okay, this place wants cows. I've got a few of those. And it's selling honey. Oh, I'll just take it all. Selling honey and iron. Now go to whatever's next on the list. Seattle, Washington. A place where people tell me I should go and live because it will remove any homesickness I have for England, as it rains as much there as it does in England. Which is one of the reasons I left England, because the weather's so depressing. It was actually weird. It wasn't possibly the last time I was in England, but a few years ago I was back in England, and I'm frequently being quoted as one of the more cynical, sarcastic people in my office and the people I know, the one willing to look on the less than bright side. And I was in Oxfordshire visiting family. It was around Christmas time, and I was looking around thinking, dear Lord, all these people seem very depressed. Everybody was walking around looking miserable. I was the happiest person there. And when I telling my American friends and colleagues that, they just look at me in stunned shock that I was the most cheerful person in the town. I mean, yes, it's Christmas and it can be stressful for some people, but I should not normally be the most cheerful person that you run into. So every time I go back to England now, I'm looking around thinking, these people do not look happy. Although, again, it's England, and these days, who knows how people look. I was talking to a colleague earlier today, and he said something about Trump, and my response was, oh yeah, you can complain about Trump. England said, hold my beer, and got Boris Johnson as its Prime Minister. You may think, or you may not think, it depends on your point of view, bad things about Trump and his level of intelligence and competency, but comparatively, be thankful you haven't got Boris Johnson. That man makes, I don't know, makes people with an IQ of 5 look intelligent. He is actually very conniving, intelligent and nasty, but he does the buffoon act so well that you just think the man is a raving idiot. Again, my opinion, you may have a different one about Boris Johnson, but I'm pretty sure England just said, yeah, you think electing Donald Trump is bad, hold my beer and watch what we do. There you go. That's as much politics as you get on my videos. I don't want to offend anybody too much one way or the other. But I'm just amazed at the joy that is Boris Johnson. Oh, here we come into good old Seattle, Washington. Okay. It wants whatever these are. Desperate need for parkers. Okay, I don't have any of those. Normally only pick them up in what do you call it? Canada or Alaska. I will take your copper. I could take your door. Could, and I will actually. I'm going to dump the barbecue. And how much space does that give me? I'll dump the intercom units. They're worthwhile. I'll take the door sensors because they're cheap, and the microprocessors because I want them. And off we go to Olympia, Washington, which is only 40 miles down the road. I didn't even get that far. There's a cow in the way. Alrighty, so let's check the checklist. I bought 59 out of 300 cargo, served 137 out of 200 passengers, and travelled just over a quarter of the distance I need to go, and it didn't take long to get to Olympia. What does your market want? You want apples? I've got a load of those. You can have the apples. I will buy the iron because it's cheap. I will buy the, well, it's not cheap. I will buy the iron because I want it. I will buy door sensors because they're cheap. And I will buy the microprocessors because I want them. Nothing else I want from Olympia at this stage. So off we go to Portland, Oregon. And I will get the money out of the caboose, all 15,000 I've got in the caboose. And I'll check the experience level. That's 1,635. Actually, it's got just under 900 experience to go. That's got just under 700 experience to go before I can upgrade those cars. That's got 1,500 experience to go before I can upgrade that one, as is that one. The Bohemian car has got about 1,200 to go. That one's got about just over 1,100 to upgrade the Old West passenger car. Viking sword car's got a long way to go. That one's got about 1,500 to go before I can upgrade that car. The Happy Cube car's got about 1,200 to go. That's got about 1,400 to go. That's got about 600 before I can upgrade the arcade car. That's not too bad. And that's got about 600 to go as well. I just thought I'd have a check to see how close I was to upgrading a car. I also completed a job. I don't know which one. Oh, give me some more money. Which means I have space for another job. Do you want to do any of those? I do want to do that one. So I've got ways to go to Portland. Check the map. Portland, then a bit of a trek down to Sacramento, then San Francisco, and we'll see what they want me to do when I get to San Francisco. It's going to take a short while to get there, so I'm going to clean and repair the train right now. And once we come out of Portland, I think it's time for me to try the gumball machine again. almost 40,000, which is a nice amount of money. Portland, Oregon. That is the Portland OR market hasn't had any luck finding poutine resources. If you have some, would you sell them to us? I would if I had any, but I don't, so I can't. You've got some copper and some microprocessors. Yeah, I'm not going to buy the door sensors which are on sale because I can't fit them on my train. So, I'm just going to depart for Sacramento. I have, however, served 200 passengers in USA West now, which is 2 out of the 4 items on the USA West checklist completed. And as I said, between Portland and Sacramento, it's time to play with the gumball machine. Oh, another double-decker car. I've already got one of those. And I couldn't put it on my train because it was too heavy. Let's try another rare car. Let's see what I can come up with. A saloon car. Okay, that's new. It carries passengers and cargo. Could be worse. And let me go for a more standard car. Or a bullet cargo car. I'll go for another one of those. And a cafe car. Oh, I'm doing well for getting cars I don't already have this time. Okay, so still got plenty of time. I've got more than 30,000, so I'm going to upgrade my ability to carry more cars. And okay, I've got a lot of space. This way. What else did I pick up? What does that one do? That one actually collects money. Weight 11.6. I'm not sure I can fit that one on there. What are you? You're a Skyview car. No, I don't really want you. You. What's this one? Oh, WAP 4. That's a heavy car. Okay, I might need to upgrade the weight of my train. Well, that doesn't take much weight. It's a coal car. What the heck? Let's put the coal car there. One of the reasons I picked the coal car is it only requires 500 experience before it upgrades. And it's been a while since I've been able to upgrade a car. Also helps with the amount of cargo I can carry. So here we come into good old Sacramento, California. Oh. Not sure what monument I'm taking a picture of. Oh, Tower Bridge. That bridge just behind the skyscraper, apparently. Sacramento, California, another place I've actually been. By the iron, I'll buy the copper, and that's pretty much filled up my train. Not a big deal, because, oh, I've got some oranges I can get rid of. So it's not a big deal, because I'm about to go to San Francisco, where I'm going to drop all the microprocessors I've got off. Or drop off all the microprocessors I've got would be a better way of using that sentence. It's just down the road. I don't know where it's going to send me after that. However, once I get to San Francisco and set the destination for the next place, whatever it may be, that's where I'll end this episode. Yes, it's a lot of me talking when the train just rolling from one place to another, which is a large part of this game. After this, once I've completed the USA West... Oh, okay. What am I taking a picture of this time? Golden Gate Bridge, apparently. Another place I've been to. Lots of places I've been to. I didn't think I'd been to that many places in America, but apparently I've been to quite a few. That was a very nice trip out to... I went to Sacramento, Oakland and San Francisco in the same trip. A family member or a friend was very kind to me. Grandpa, wow, sounds as if we have another delivery lined up. Not exactly top tier, though. Listen, we knew this wasn't going to be easy. At least we're being left alone so far. Yes, I suppose. Have we got a pickup here as well? Sure do. Lights for a film studio in Los Angeles. Maybe things are looking up, We'll see. Ready to leave town when you are. Okay. That's completed that quest. I will collect the quest money. Have I completed any other jobs? No. I will collect the Golden Gate Tower Bridge money. I will go to the market and drop off the chunk of microprocessors I have. I'll pick up the cheap iron and I'll also pick up the copper. Next place is Los Angeles, which wants pizza, which is not bad because once I get the USA West depot, I can fill up with pizza from the USA East into that depot and then just go to this depot and bring it back out. But I have to actually own that depot before I can do that. Alrighty. Well, that's... Did I set the destination? No, I didn't. Silly. Well, it would have gone there anyway. But it also gone somewhere. It wouldn't have stopped there. What was I thinking of saying? Oh, that's right. I wanted to check, see how much... Lance now has 22 out of 30 experience before I can get unlock his passive service. And Sophia has 21 out of 30. And Hank is still stuck at 2. At some point I'm going to have to do some stuff for Hank. Okay. I went to the market, I picked up the stuff I wanted. I don't have that much space left, so we'll just stick with what we've got. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to start the departure for Los Angeles and I'm going to end the episode. As always, I hope you enjoyed. Or at least found it interesting or different, or you just enjoyed me chuntering along, or you hated it. Feel free to comment. I may or may not respond. I will read it, and I may or may not take offence or enjoy your comments. And if you have any suggestions of things you want me to try, let me know. Oh, somebody's got some stuff in the folder in the way. Completed a job. That got some experience for Hank. Oh, there's another one I've completed. I need to get these done fast before I get into Los Angeles. I'll accept that job. And I'll accept that job. Right. And now I will end the episode. And hopefully I will see you down the track for more tiny rails in the not too distant future. Cheerio!